They lied to you completely. You were told that women want nice guys, polite men, predictable behavior, but the brutal truth is this. Safety doesn't create desire. The feeling of being protected by someone powerful does. And those are not the same thing. One is passive, the other is visceral. Deep in the oldest layers of the human brain, attraction isn't built on logic, kindness, or even looks. It's built on survival signals. A woman's nervous system is constantly scanning, silently asking one question you will never hear out loud. If everything went wrong right now, would this man take control, or would he freeze? And in that invisible moment, she decides how she feels about you. Not with words, not with conscious thought, but with biology. This is where most men fail, because they try to impress her mind while completely ignoring her instincts. They compliment her, agree with her, entertain her, but they never activate the one trigger that flips attraction into obsession, the hero trigger. And no, it's not about saving her like in movies or pretending to be dominant in some fake over-the-top way. That's where amateurs expose themselves. The real trigger is far more subtle and far more dangerous. It's about creating a psychological environment where she feels your capability before she ever sees proof of it. Because the female brain doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you signal. Your tone, your calmness under pressure, the way you handle tension, the way you don't rush to fill silence, the way you stand your ground without needing validation. These are not personality traits. These are biological cues. And when those cues align in a specific way, something shifts inside her. She stops analyzing you and starts feeling you. That's the moment the hero trigger activates. Her body relaxes, but her attention locks in. She may not even understand why she suddenly feels drawn to you, why your presence feels heavier, more grounding, more real than other men, but it's because on a primal level, you've answered her silent question without saying a word. You've shown, not told, that you are the man who doesn't panic, doesn't chase, doesn't collapse under pressure. And here's the forbidden knowledge almost no one talks about. The trigger is not about being aggressive or controlling. It's about controlled power, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself, the kind that remains steady when things get uncertain. When she tests you with unpredictability, emotional spikes, or subtle challenges, she's not trying to annoy you. She's unconsciously checking for cracks. Weak men react. Strong men absorb. And that absorption, that calm, unshaken presence, is what her nervous system interprets as protection. This is why the men who try the hardest often lose, because effort signals instability. Neediness signals risk. But a man who is centered, who moves with quiet certainty, who doesn't seek approval, he creates a different emotional reality. She feels it. And once she feels it, she starts leaning in without realizing it. She starts opening up, investing, chasing your attention, instead of the other way around. Not because you manipulated her, but because you activated something ancient inside her that she cannot switch off. The hero trigger is not about what you do for her, it's about who you become in her presence. And when you understand this, truly understand it, you stop performing, you stop overthinking, you stop trying to be liked. Instead, you become the man. Her instincts were designed to recognize the man who doesn't just make her feel safe, but makes her feel like, in a world full of uncertainty, standing next to you is the closest thing to certainty she will ever find. And once that feeling is locked in, attraction is no longer a game you play, it becomes a gravity. She can't escape. Continue, and here's the part almost no one will tell you. Once that hero trigger is engaged, every word you speak, every action you take, every micro-expression you display is amplified in her mind. She doesn't just notice you, she interprets you through a lens forged by evolution. A slight hesitation, a measured glance, the way you calmly handle someone else's chaos, it all becomes a signal of competence, dominance, and emotional security. She begins to test this constantly, not consciously, but through subtle challenges, social pressure, teasing, even minor irritations, all to see if your presence remains unwavering. The men who fail are the ones who flinch, who react, who show that inner instability. The ones who succeed, who trigger obsession, are the ones who smile inwardly at these tests, who understand that her nervous system is not trying to annoy them, it is trying to calibrate to their level of reliability and power. And here's the forbidden edge. Once you've learned to consistently project this silent, controlled power, she starts to feel addicted, not to your words, not to your attention, but to the state you induce in her. She starts craving the calm, the protection, the unspoken certainty that only you provide. Everything else fades. Other men become noise, other attention becomes irrelevant, and yet the world will tell you that relationships are built on romance, on gestures, on overt displays. They are wrong. Real attraction is stealthy, it is invisible, it is psychological architecture, and when you master it, when you step fully into that role without fear, without effort, without need, she doesn't just notice you. She feels tethered to you. Her dopamine spikes when she's near you. Her anxiety drops. Her subconscious loops replay your presence like a drug. You are no longer optional. You are necessary. And that is the dark, irresistible power of the hero trigger. The truth 99% of men will never know, never practice, and never feel. It's not about being a superhero. It's about becoming the gravitational center of her emotional universe, the man whose stability and quiet authority she unconsciously worships, even if she can't admit it, even if she doesn't understand why, until the pull becomes undeniable, and she is in every sense addicted to the state only you can give her.